Hello bakers, and welcome back to day 2 of the 12 Bakes of Christmas, my festive series taking us all the way through to Christmas with a brand new recipe each day. If you missed yesterday's recipe for these incredible deep fried mince pies, then check out the link in the description to catch up on what you missed. But it's a new day, so let's see what recipe is up next. Today we're whipping up these mulled wine trifles, a Christmassy twist on the all-time British classic that is bound to go down well with the adults. Now, if you're not familiar with the trifle before, it is a British dessert that is made of 3 distinct layers. The first one being jelly, the second being custard, and the third being cream. There are loads and loads of varieties and variations you can get out there, but this one is perfect for the festive season. To begin, you need to make your jelly by placing 4 gelatin leaves in 100 milliliters of cold water. Leave it to stand for 5 minutes until it begins to bloom. You'll know it's ready when you can squeeze the gelatin and it's nice and soft. Place the gelatin in a pan on a medium heat, add in 75 grams of caster sugar and stir through until dissolved. In a separate jug you want to measure out 300 milliliters of mulled wine and then pour your gelatin mix in, giving it a good stir before setting it aside to cool. Now, how you serve the trifle is up to you. You can either make a big trifle for everyone to share, or if you don't want anyone touching your puddings, then you can make them in individual glasses too. The traditional trifle has sponge or lady fingers in the bottom, but as it's Christmas and chocolate goes so well with red wine, I've used chocolate mini rolls. Slice these up and then place them into the bottom of your dish. Now, if you've made trifle with sponges before, you'll know that when you add in your jelly, the sponges can rise up to the top and sometimes touch your custard layer. So to prevent that happening, I'm going to show you a quick trick to make sure the sponges stay inside the jelly layer. Pour half the amount of jelly you want over the sponges and then pop it into the fridge until it's set. You can then take it out and add in some more jelly, and that way your sponges will stay in place. Pop these into the fridge to set for an hour. Next up is the custard layer, and similar to yesterday's recipe for our deep fried mince pies, you want to use a thicker custard here so it sets up nice and firm and gives you those distinct layers. Once your jelly is set, pour your custard over the top and smooth it so you get a nice even layer. You can then pop this back into the fridge to chill for another half an hour. Last but by no means least is the cream layer, and because it is Christmas, we're going to add a little bit more booze here. Not enough to blow your socks off, but just to give it a nice merry finish. Whisk together your double cream, 2 tablespoons of icing sugar and a tablespoon of brandy until it forms soft peaks. You could just spoon this on top, but to give it a nice finish, I placed mine into a piping bag and then worked my way around the top of the trifle. The last thing to do is create a chocolate garnish. I've taken some room temperature milk chocolate and used a sharp knife to pull off some chocolate kernels. Place these on top of your trifle and you're good to go. So there you have it, a festive twist on an all-time classic that is bound to go down well at your Christmas dinner party. That's all for today's episode, but if you're looking forward to tomorrow's recipe, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing.